I don't think driving changed. I think everything around it changed, and that's why driving does not feel the same anymore. Guys, if you're new to the channel, welcome to Ziggywick, where we do POVs, rain, snow, or shine. As y'all can see, there's ice. All of this right here is just ice forming. Well, that's a little bit of water, but it's so much ice around, so we gotta be careful tonight. But as you can see, we're out here in the TSX as promised, and we're gonna do a video on why driving does not feel the same anymore. So if you're new to the channel, go ahead and drop a like, subscribe, comment, let me know what y'all think about the video, and let's get on the road. There is a multitude of reasons why driving does not feel the same anymore, and a couple of them is for the good and a couple is for the bad. And for me, I think a majority of them are good, because now I've refound my long lost love for driving. And in this video, I'm gonna explain how I did that. How I came from a point where driving was annoying, it was a chore, it was something I had to do, to get to where I'm at now, where I love driving again. I'm out here having fun on a Monday night when I could be home, but this is something that I want to be doing right now in this moment. But first, we're gonna start off with the bad things. You know, the way I look at driving is the way I look at regulated industries now. And the reason I say regulated industries is because they weren't always regulated. You better believe they were not always regulated. Let's get this merge real quick. But they were not always regulated, guys. You think of the trucking industry. What else? I mean, goddamn everything. Dude, back in the 80s and 90s and 70s, like from the 60s up, bro, they had zero safety regulations. I mean, everything was just free willy. I remember in high school, in the history books, there was this advertisement of like a ski lift, but for the public, where they're like, yo, come bring your kids, you know what I mean? Look at the mountainside. And in the advertisement, it's a woman and her child. They have no type of seatbelt, no type of restraints whatsoever. Just sitting there vibing hundreds of feet, or like, I don't know how high it is, but it's enough to break something if you fall. But that's where we're coming from. So industry I like to look at is the trucking industry. You talk to any modern trucker right now that used to drive back in the day, and you ask them, when was it better? They're gonna be like, it was better back in the day. And you know why it was better back in the day? Because it wasn't restricted. They had paper log books, so they could lie about their hours. You know what I mean? They didn't have to pull over every 16. Everything wasn't electronically checked, so they could get away with more things. It was more easier on drivers on the road. Like the DOT and all this stuff wasn't on top of them with all these new restrictions and stuff like that. Like overall, it was better for them back in the day. And the reason why we have restrictions, some can argue that it's good, some will argue to you that it's bad. But overall, I think we can all agree that driving back in the day sounded more fun. You know what I mean? With today's economy, if you're a truck driver, you can't even start another family in another state. You can't even support one family. Things are too expensive. So everybody was wilding back then. You know what I mean? But that's how I like to look at driving. I feel like overall, back in the day, driving was more free. Things were more new. It was more exciting. It was this thing that, you know what I mean, you got, and it wasn't common. It wasn't the norm. It was to an extent, because, I mean, everybody had cars back in the day for the most part. But I think it was just more fun because it was this new thing that just came in, and cars were getting crazy redesigns. Companies were being ballsy. You know what I mean? And now we've got to a point where it kind of plateaued, and now there's no real excitement anymore. It's kind of just all the same stuff. You know, you look at a majority of cars on the road, they're SUVs. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a Tesla back there. But it's just all crossovers. You know what I mean? It's like the world is stepping away from the fun stuff. The stuff you see in the movies growing up, All of that stuff is a thing of the past now. And I would say that's why, you know what I mean, the reason is cars aren't that fun. Like, driving isn't that fun anymore, because there's only a certain amount of fun platforms out there these days. Like, you don't have a crazy catalog of options anymore that you could choose from. You know what I mean? You pick a certain platform, and the ones that offer high performance options now are very limited. You know what I mean? Because everybody's going EV, everybody's doing this. And a lot of this is those same regulations from the trucking industry. Not the same exact, but this is the reason why the fun is vanishing. Because of new regulations, new laws, new norms. Things that happened back in the day is not happening today. It's a different time, a different era. So driving of a whole is just different now. It's more work-based. It's not as much leisure. You know what I mean? People can't afford to pay rent, do all these other things. So it's hard to dish out money on gas. When, you know what I mean, you got different priorities you gotta take care of. It's hard to go on a fun drive and spend $60 on gas in one night when that's your food, that's your dinner for you and your family. So that's why in the beginning of the video I mentioned that I don't think driving itself changed, but all these little micro factors, and also, you know what I mean, big factors outside of driving, all these things have an effect on driving, on your mood. How happy are you gonna be driving home from work when you just had to work 80 hours a week to put food on the table? It's not gonna be that happy. You're gonna be tired. You just wanna get home and vibe, bro. You know what I mean? So that's why I say, you know, all these little things factor in. And how was I able to take something that's became a chore? I only drove when I needed to go to work or I needed to do something. I didn't really drive for me. And a big part of this was this life. You know, when I used to do all these fun drivings, going on fun drives and going to the mountains, going to the twisties, all these things, I was in college. And you know what I had in college? A lot of free time. I had a lot of free time in college. And this time allowed me to do all these fun things. To just go drive at 3 a.m. in the night for no reason. Just go waste some gas and come back. Those type of things I did in college. And I remember when I did it, and people would ask me, yo, Josh, why are you just going out there for no reason? You have no goal. You're just wasting gas. And I was like, there's gonna be a time when I'm not able to do all these things. So I'm really, really glad to take advantage of it. But, you know, I mean, the fun is over now, it kind of feels like, because life has just picked up, guys. Now I'm not in school, I gotta go to work. Or now I'm editing these videos. Like, now I'm older and I've taken on new responsibilities that, you know, I mean, I have to factor time out of my day to tend to these goals that I'm trying to meet. And if I have to choose between editing at 3 a.m. or going for a drive, I'm gonna choose going for the, I'm wildin'. If I gotta choose editing or driving at 2 a.m., I'm gonna choose editing, because this is something that I'm working towards. You know what I mean? Like, I'm an adult, I'm trying to build something for myself. So I have to choose the things that are gonna benefit me in the long term. And although driving does benefit me, it's more like a temporary satisfaction. You go, you have fun, you park, and reality is still there waiting for you. You still gotta get to the stuff that was there before you went for that drive. You know what I mean? Like, it don't vanish. It does not vanish during the drive. You still have to come back and you have to face your responsibilities. So what I did is I just managed my time better, y'all. I'm fortunate. I'm in the position where I'm still staying at home with my parents, right? So I'm not paying rent and all these things, but I do have responsibilities. I have a job. I'm taking YouTube seriously. So, you know, although I'm not working 40 hours a week and feeding a family, so obviously I'm not comparing myself to other people, but I do have to manage my time more, because this is something I like to do. Like, out of the whole week, I look forward to these drives, guys. You know what I mean? I'd be at work, I'm like, damn, I wish I was driving right now, because it's something I like. This is something I'm passionate about. So what I did is I literally just had to manage my time better. Set aside time for the things you love. You know, when I was younger I didn't have to set aside time because all I had was time. It just naturally fell into place. But the older I get, the more responsibilities I take on, I realize that time management is so important. It's one of the top 3 most important things in an adult's life, because time managed well is time well spent. If you go to work all week and you come home, you doing this, you doing that, you doing this, you doing that, you never have time to chill, you never have time to relax, you never have time to do something that you want to do, you're gonna be unhappy, bro. And I was doing that. I was working these 13-hour days, 14-hour days, 12-hour days, just trying to stack up the bread. And at a young age, that's what you're supposed to be doing. But you can't always just grind and not have any fun. And thankfully, I realized this. I realized that I was not happy with that cycle. I would be at work doing these long shifts, and I'd be like, yo, I don't even want to be here. Like, what's my motivation for doing this? I don't know. I'm doing it because I need the money. But how does this affect my happiness? How does this help me achieve my goal of peak happiness? How can this make me happy today? You know what I mean? Like, is that really something that should prioritize everything? I understand if you have no choice. If you're gonna get kicked out, you're gonna be homeless, you got no choice but to grind out. But I just had to manage my time better. Set aside time for the things I love, and that was driving. So that's the secret bomb, guys. There's no crazy, you know what I mean, answer to what I did. All I did was to set aside more time. I set aside time to go on these drives, to do something I want to do. I say that driving changed because for me, it changed for the better. I love driving, regardless of what the gas prices are, regardless of, you know what I mean, how strict cars get, how electric it get. I mean, I would have fun driving a Tesla. I wouldn't have as much fun as this, obviously, or driving a Corvette, a Mustang, a M2. Oh, Infinity boys. Yo, they always be loud as hell. But yeah, I wouldn't have as much fun driving a Tesla as I would an actual like sports car with an engine that has a personality. But it's still driving. Like, I genuinely just love driving for the plot. I'm somebody that just enjoys it. So driving changed for me for the better. I love it now. I'm excited. I look forward for these drives. It makes going to work more fun because I know I have that time set aside to do something that I want to do. And that's really the key to life. I figured it out. I think I figured it out at 23 years old. That's the key to life. That's what makes the grind more enjoyable. You hear all these people talk about, you know what I mean, you got to enjoy the grind before you get to the top. Like the road to success is the best part. But I don't know. I think aiming for something that is not defined is just, it's just not worth it. It's blindless work. Like, what are you aiming towards? Money, obviously, but why? How does that make you more happy in life? How is that gonna help you achieve peak life? Like, when you die, how does that extra bread help you say, man, I really lived a good life. I'm good to go. I mean, there's people out there that are ready to die, yo. Those people that are like 80, you know what I mean? They grew up in that nice economy. They got to do a lot of cool things. They ready to go. They not scared of death. There's people that are wishing, they're like, man, you know what I mean? They pass out and they're like, damn, I thought I was about to go. Why'd y'all revive me? Because they had a goal and they achieved it. They lived life and that's it. There's nothing more to get out of it. And we all gonna go eventually, y'all. We are all gonna go. So while you're here, you might as well set goals and work towards it and not just blindlessly slave your life away to money. Like, throughout our whole life, all you hear about is this grind for money, this grind for financial success. You know what I mean? There are so many different ways. You go to school, there's people doing online businesses. There's so many ways people get creative just to chase money. You know what I mean? Like, and it's a necessity. Unfortunately, we need it to survive. You need money to have a nice house, to have nice things. But you look at all these people that have money and also are depressed, that are committing suicide, Why is that? Because money alone cannot unlame you. Sadly, that's just the reality. And what is lame? I think that's up for, you know what I mean, personal debate. That's up for you to decide to yourself what you consider lame. What life would you not want to have for yourself? If you're just aimlessly grinding away, wasting your life, you're missing out on these key points in life that would make you happy, that'll build those moments, that'll build those bonds. So when you make it, you know what I mean, you have genuine people around you. You're just gonna be at the top miserable with nobody around, because what was it for? What did you grind towards? What was the goal? You have the money now, but then what? You know what I mean? And my boy Gene touched on this topic in his last video, so I think that's why I'm pivoting so hard, because I remember I commented on his video something really similar to this. But what is the point of the grind if you don't have a goal? And although I haven't fully figured out this, like what my goals are, I have an idea. I just want to have enough money to own a ranch in like Montana or something, some Wyoming, someplace with a lot of land, so I can have a lot of animals, and that's it. I'm gonna have cows, I'm gonna have, you know what I mean, a couple herding dogs, I'm gonna have some chickens, some goats. Like, I just want to farm, y'all. I just want to live that country life. You grow everything you eat, you know what I mean, live good, have my own water system, my own like electricity. Like, I want to do some off-grid stuff, but do it comfortably. Like, I don't want to have to fight to survive every day. I mean, like, I want to do it comfortably. So I want to have enough money to where I can just live that life. That's all I want. Whether it takes 200,000 or $1 million, that's my goal in life. Like, once I have that, I'm ready to go. And obviously along the way, this goal might change, but at least I have something that motivates me every day to get that bag. I have something that motivates me every day to make these YouTube videos, go to work, wake up. Like, I have a purpose, and you have to have your purpose in life, y'all. Whether it's big or small, that's up for your own interpretation. You can't let other people judge your life. You can't just live your life chasing a dream that somebody pre-planned for you. You have to have your own life in order to find peak happiness. And I think there's no better way to end off this video than right there with that line. You know, I watched a couple TikToks of Vinland Saga. It's an anime, and that it really changed my life. Because what is the point of this? What makes us true warriors? What makes us successful at life? And I'm not sure if you know this, but all these things have an effect on your day-to-day mental. This is why you might not enjoy driving anymore, because you're so stressed. You don't have clear thoughts. You can't actually enjoy the drive because you don't even know why you're driving. You know, you can drive with no purpose but have a meaning, and that just translates like through life. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's not gonna be a big day. It's not gonna be the craziest successful day. Not every day you're gonna buy a house. Not every day you're gonna have a big payout. But it should be another step up the ladder towards your goal, towards your happiness, guys. So if you made it this far, thank you for watching the video. I love each and every single one of y'all. I know some people out there that be commenting. Yo, this dude commented that he didn't like the exhaust sound. I'm like, damn, that's unfortunate. I wish you liked it, but I appreciate y'all clicking on the video in general, y'all. Like, not everybody is gonna mess with the video 100%, and that's just life. So thank you if you made it this far. Thank you for watching the video. You know what I mean? If you like it, drop a like, drop a subscribe, and let me know in the comments what you think. What is your goal? How are you gonna attain peak happiness, y'all? And with that being said, I'm gonna catch you guys in the next one. Make sure y'all buy TSX and travel, and I'm gonna get out of here, y'all. Peace.